Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel and I am here with my take on this week's Wednesday Simon Says Stamp blog challenge, which is anything goes, but using Hero Arts. So I have a quick card that uses both some quick stamp layering and also some masking. So I just wanted to show you how I pulled those things together relatively quickly. There's a little time consuming when it comes to masking and stamping and layering, but this is a pretty quick card to pull together using these great Hero Arts stamps. So let's get started. So this is the first card that I created. You can see that I used the Hero Arts Layering for You set. It's an older set. I really like it because it's easy to do the stamp layering. And to do the masking, I used some Post-it notes. So here's the stamp set. I also have the coordinating dies, and that's how I'm going to create the masks. So that's a great way to make some masks. Instead of having to cut them out, you can use your coordinating dies. I'm going to need 2 of the flower masks. So I'm going to take 2 of the Post-it sheets and cut them out with that flower in order to do the masking, because I want each flower to be in front of the next flower so that we have 3 layers of flowers. So I'm also going to take 2 and cut out the leaves. I don't end up using them in this card. So once I have my masks cut out, I'm going to start stamping. I have some Neenah Solar White cardstock, and I have 3 different colors of Hero Arts inks. And the lightest one is how I'm going to stamp that base layer. Then I take the medium color and stamp this second layer. It's really easy to line this set up because it has that one petal that's large with a tiny petal next to it. I am heat setting just a little bit in between. The dye ink dries very quickly, but I didn't want to ruin it with my mask and the adhesive, so I made sure just to heat set it real fast. Once I cover up the first flower with my mask, I can move on and do the whole process over again with my second set of colors. So now I have 3 Hero Arts colors, different blues. The lightest color again is for the bottom layer, the medium color is for the second layer, and the top color is the top layer is the darkest color. And once again, I'm going to heat set and then cover with my second mask. Now I'm going to go in and do the third color flower. Again, I'm going to do 3 layers and 3 colors of Hero Arts inks. And I'm going to have all those colors linked down below so that you can check them out if you're interested. So once I have all my layers of stamping done, I'm going to start in with the leaves. And again, I didn't need to use the masks because I just used the floral masks. I kept those flower masks on 2 of the flowers and then laid the leaves on top so that actually the leaves will look like they are behind the flowers. So I think this is a really easy way using those coordinating dies to create some masks that then gives you a lot of dimension without a lot of bulk, because this is really a 1-layer card, but you're getting all of that faux dimension just by things being in front of each other. Now I'm ready to use the sentiment from that same stamp set, and I'm going to use the Simon Says Stamp transparency grid so that I can line up my sentiment. So you can see there that you have the grid right on top of the card there, which allows you to line up the stamp sentiment on one of the grid lines. So I have the bases of all those letters on one grid line. Then I'm going to take off the transparency, put the card back in the corner of my MISTI, and then I'm going to use some EK Success powder tool because I am going to stamp and heat emboss this sentiment just to make it shiny. I'm going to use the VersaFine Black Onyx ink. That is a pigment ink, so it'll stay wet for a little while, and I'll be able to pour some clear heat embossed powder on top. So I'm going to just take that and just pour it right on the sentiment there. I don't want to get it on any of my flowers or leaves. I just want it on the sentiment. And I'm just going to flick off the excess and heat set that. Now I'm going to cut this panel down to 4 inches wide, and it is 5.5 tall. Then I'm going to cut a small strip of gold foil cardstock, and it's going to be 5.5 inches long and just a little more than 1/4 wide. I'm going to fold a note card. This is the Gina K 110-pound white cardstock. I'm going to fold that at 5.5, so it's a top folding note card. And I'm going to use some Thermoweb Memory Runner XL and just put the adhesive on the back of that gold cardstock. And I'm going to lay it flush to the left-hand side of the card. This is a way to have a peak of gold hiding from the back of the card panel without having to lay down an entire piece of gold cardstock, because that stuff I love. I want to use it all the time, so I don't want to waste it. I don't want to use a 4.25 by 5.5 inch panel of gold cardstock. I'm just going to use a strip. I'm going to use that same Thermoweb Memory Runner XL to lay down my card panel. This time I'm going to line up the panel to the right side of the card base, and this way it will lay over that little strip of gold cardstock, and it'll just see that little piece of gold peeking out on the side there. So that pretty much completes the stamping. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of shine. I decided to bring out some Jelly Bean Soup Neutrals sequins and sprinkle those all around my card. I have that Marby Yukata jewel picker, and I'm using that to place my jewels and pick them up and then add some Ranger Multimedia Matte Adhesive behind them. Now I'm going to take some Tonic Studios Nouveau Crystal Drops and just add little bits in the center of those flowers. You can see there I'm just adding tiny little drops all over those centers just to add some dimension and some shine, and I like the little translucent hint of color as well. So that pretty much completes my card. That is a quick way to do some masking and some stamp layering. If you're interested in any of the products, I will have them all linked down below for you. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today, and have a great day.